Hey, this is John Assaraf, New York Times best-selling author of Having It All and The Answer. And you may remember me from the smash hit movie The Secret or Quest for Success with the Dalai Lama and Richard Branson. Now, I have a question for you, and I want to encourage you to just take a moment now and really believe this. It's sometimes that the questions that you ask in life are the ones that really take you on a journey of self-development and growth. And maybe you've asked yourself this question a dozen times before. And today what I want you to do is hear it with new ears and an open mind and ready to stop dreaming and be prepared to take action. So here is the question. How would you love to never have to worry about money again? I know that this may sound difficult or maybe sound impossible for you, and it may even sound like something from the movies. And having more money than you ever dreamed possible, or exactly the amount that you dream of, and making money easily, seeing your bank account grow day in and day out, and being prepared for your retirement or being prepared for anything that may be happening in the economy, and having the resources to recover from any medical or legal or unexpected expenses is possible for you. So I want you to believe this right now. What I know is possible is that you can learn how to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, with whoever you want to do it with, and have enough money to pay for it all without worrying. That's the key. So what I would like you to think about is this. What separates the people who have enough money to do the things that they want to do from the people who don't? Wouldn't you agree that mindset is what separates the rest from the best? Absolutely. Well, the image I'm about to show you with this incredible mattress with money filled right under it is what I would love to have you focus on for your future. And today I'm going to reveal 3 success principles. Number 1 is that 95% of people who set goals to achieve financial success or life success don't actually achieve it. Only 5% or so do. And I want to show you how you can be in that 5%. The other success principle we'll be talking about today is how to use the latest in brain research, neuroscience, to master your mindset, your emotions, and your behaviors so that you can increase your income by, let's say, 3 to 5 times in the next 12 months. What would that feel like? Can you imagine that? The brain training methods that I'll be sharing with you today will help you remove any of your fear and propel you to financial success automatically. And that is really what you want to do, is develop the habits that'll help you achieve success automatically day in and day out. And this is what 95% of the people miss out on. But before we get into how to do that, I want to make sure that we understand that money is just a tool. And the question is, what is more valuable than money? And the answer, as far as I am concerned, of what I've researched and found from hundreds of thousands, millions of people around the world, is health is more important than money. Would you agree? What about time? Free time to do what you want to do. What about family? What about having the freedom to be able to do what you want to do when you want to do, as I mentioned before? What about having peace of mind? What about being able to make a difference in the lives of either friends or family or charities that you love? And then what about having the time to really be de-stressed and fulfill your potential? The reason I start off with that is because money is a tool that allows you to have choice freedom, financial freedom, and emotional freedom. And in order to do that, one of the things that you have to get your mindset focused on is determining what level of the game of money or life do you want to play at? You see, you can play the game at the kindergarten level and just have fun. You can play at the grade school level or the high school level or the university level, or you can make a decision to play at the highest level, the pro level of life. So my question for you is, what level do you want to play in? Well, hopefully you decided at least the university or the pro level. Now, the image that I'm about to show you is all about people and what are they willing to do in order to achieve the results that they want to achieve or that they say they want to achieve. And the sad fact is, there's a percentage of our population that don't want to do any of what it takes. They're basically in a prison, they're stuck there, and they don't even know they're in the prison, and some of them are happy and some of them are miserable. But if you go up to the top of the image, I believe that only about 3 or 4%, somewhere in that range, are willing to do whatever it takes. Not some of what it takes, but whatever it takes. And so if you want to play the game of life and win the game of money at the highest level so you can have the choice freedom, financial freedom, and emotional freedom, you really have to learn how to play it at the top of the game. And so hopefully you are committed to doing that. Now, a lot of people look at my life today and think that, I was born with a silver spoon or that success became something natural and easy for you. Well, it didn't. When I was a kid, I grew up in an average neighborhood in Montreal, Canada, in a 3-bedroom apartment with my mother and father, but I got into so much trouble. One of the reasons was I didn't do well in school. I was told that if I didn't do well in school, I wouldn't be able to go to university, I wouldn't be able to get a really good job, I wouldn't be able to take care of myself or my family. And so I had this entire image in my mind that I wasn't good enough, I wasn't smart enough, and I wasn't worthy enough. And that led me to getting involved with a group of kids from the age of about 13 to 17 that were adept at shoplifting, at doing breaking entries, at doing a lot of things that I wasn't proud of. And I knew that my path that I was on at that time was either to go to jail or the morgue. And the reason I know that that's the path I was on, a couple of my friends went to jail, and a couple of my friends ended up dying at a very, very young age, way prematurely because of the activities we were involved in. So I'm not going to get into too many of the details, but let me share with you a transition point in my life that happened with one meeting with one individual that transformed my entire life when I was 19 years old. And it transformed my life because I was willing to pay attention to one man who had what I wanted to achieve. And my brother introduced me to this man. His name was Alan Brown. And Alan Brown, back in May of 1980, that's when I met him, May of 1980, I was 19 years old, was a philanthropist, an entrepreneur, a husband, a father, a community advocate. And he was one of these types of individuals who seemed like he had it all in his life. He was a multimillionaire and he was in great health. And my brother introduced me to him, and he told Alan Brown that I was his brother, obviously, and that I was getting into a lot of trouble. And Alan asked me why I thought I was getting into a lot of trouble. And I said, I don't know. He says, well, have you ever thought that your self-image is what's driving your behaviors? And I said, nope, I didn't even know what my self-image was. He said, well, whenever you have a self-image that may be shady, or maybe self-image having beliefs that you're not good enough or smart enough or worthy enough, those beliefs and that self-image are going to drive your perceptions and your behaviors. He said, those beliefs and self-image that you have and self-worth that you have, he said, those are the real drivers, the unconscious or non-conscious drivers of your behaviors. He said, if you're willing to learn, I could teach you how to achieve your goals and dreams and earn as much money as you want. And so that sounded like a wonderful promise, because I never had anybody who knew enough about success teach me how to think, how to manage my emotions, and teach me what to do on a day-to-day basis to achieve success. So there's a couple things that happened, including Alan Brown asked me one question that changed my life that I'm going to ask you this in just a moment. But before he asked me this question, he asked me, what is it that I wanted to achieve in my life? And I said, I want to make enough money to pay for, my apartment and for alcohol, to party with my friends, and for some food and some fun. And he goes, okay, that's all great. Those are basic necessities, and everybody should have those without worrying. He said, but what else do you want to achieve? He said, if you could wave a magic wand, what would you want to achieve with your life in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years? And I said to him, well, I've never really thought about it, except I love what I see on the television show Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. And he said, well, what are some of the things that you like? I said, well, I'd love to have, 1 or 2 nice cars. I'd love to travel the world in style. I'd love to, go on beautiful, trips with, my girlfriend or with, family members. I'd love to be able to buy a home. And so I told him all of the materialistic things that I wanted being 19 years old. And he said to me the one question that I'm going to share with you right now that changed everything. He asked me, he says, I can show you how to change your self-image and your beliefs and your behaviors to achieve every one of those things because I have them. He says, but you have to let me know the answer to this one question. And here is the question he asked me. He looked at me straight in the eye and he said, John, are you interested in achieving those goals and dreams that you just told me about? A beautiful home, a nice car, a healthy lifestyle, the ability to travel all over the world, and to have money in the bank, more than enough money in the bank. Are you interested in that, or are you committed to achieving that? And I looked at him and I said, what's the difference? And he looked straight at me again. He said, John, he says, if you're interested, you'll do what's convenient. He says, if you're interested, you'll come up with stories and excuses why you can't, why you're not smart enough, why you only went to grade 11 high school and you don't know how to achieve that level of success. He says, you'll come up with all the stories and excuses from your past and your present instead of being committed, which means you will let go of your old stories and excuses, and you will upgrade your knowledge. You will upgrade your skills. You will change your self-image and your beliefs about what is possible for you. And when you are committed, you will start to achieve the goals and dreams that you just told me you want. And so I looked at him, and I remember being excited, but also being a little bit scared because I really had never been committed to anyone before. I really had never been committed to myself before, where I put my money where my mouth was, so to speak. But I believed in this man. And, you, like me, want the best for yourself. And I want the best for you, just like he wanted the best for me. And he knew how to take me by the hand and show me. And what I can share with you is I shook his hand, he smiled at me, and he says, great, let's get started. And he had me write down my goals for health and wealth and relationships and career and business and spiritual goals and charity and fun and experiences over the course of the weekend. And when I came back Monday morning, he shared some brain training techniques with me to start changing my self-image. Now, what he shared with me, back in 1980 was old school stuff compared to what's available today. It's almost like having a cell phone back in 1980 versus having, one of the smartphones today that can, that has more power in it than we had to put a man and rocket ship on the moon. But by committing myself to his teachings, in my first year of working with him, I made $30,000, which was more than my father made, and I was 19. but by continuously moving my needle, basically, of my beliefs, my perceptions, and my behaviors towards who I needed to become to achieve those goals and dreams. At 20 years old, I made $151,000, all because I shook his hand and said, I'm committed and I will do whatever it takes. Now, I'll fast forward many, many years later, 35 plus years later, and because I listened to him, because I trusted him, and because I was willing to be committed, I've built 5 multi-million-dollar companies, whether it was Remax of Indiana to $4.5 billion, or Bamboo.com to doing a successful IPO on NASDAQ and reaching $2.5 billion in market cap, to my current company, NeuroGym today, that develops some of the most advanced brain training tools and technologies in the world. I've been blessed to have done that and written 2 New York Times best-selling books. And because of what I was taught, not only did my dreams to have an amazing family and all the fun stuff that comes with being successful comes with my lifestyles of the rich and famous mindset or idea or vision came true, but now in the second half of my life, we get to support charities that make a big difference in my life and my children's life and my wife's life, and we're able to give back to people like you and to share with you what I have learned and what I have researched and what my company researches. And so if you want to go from your life now to U squared, where you really exponentially achieve greater results over the next 6, 12, 24 months, listen up. And I'll share a story with you. I was in Australia recently doing a keynote speech around earning more income. And in the audience was this wonderful woman that I got to meet afterwards. Her name was Joni Sanderson. And she came up to me and told me her story. And she had heard me speak doing a session like the one you're watching right now in Australia about a year earlier. And she came up and talked to me, and a beautiful, beautiful woman. And she said to me, she says, listen, I want to thank you. And I said, well, what for? She goes, well, I heard you speak about a year ago, and it made so much sense. I ended up buying your Winning the Game of Money program. And she said, I'm a widower that has raised 6 children on a widow's salary of $12,000 a year. She goes, I do social work helping people in our community. And I live in Perth, Australia, in a town, close to Perth, Australia, with 12,000 people. And she said, I didn't believe that I could achieve success. I didn't believe that I could achieve the results that I had in my head about the lifestyle that I wanted to live and the charities that I wanted to support and the time that I could spend with my kids and my grandkids. She goes, but I started to retrain my brain, and I'm in my 60s, she told me, like you did when you were 19 years old. And she said, I'm going to earn $75,000 this year, which is, 6-7 times more than what she had ever earned in her life. And I said to her, Joni, what has that done for your life? She goes, it's given me my life back, and it's given me the ability to do the things that I've always dreamed I could do, but I didn't believe that I deserved to achieve those things. She said they were dreams and goals of mine, but I would never believe in myself, but now I do. And so I can share with you that that's what's possible. I'll share some more stories with you a little bit later on. But what has evolved over the last 30 years is now there's really a neuroscience of goal achievement. And all over the world, people are being made aware of the new science of the brain, whether it's the magazines or TV or radio or print media. The brain is all over the news, and there are ways to train your brain to let go of the fears, the doubts, the anxieties, the lack of confidence, the lack of certainty that may be holding you back. And there's a way to gain more confidence and more certainty so that you take the right actions every single day, every single week, so that you can achieve your goals and dreams. So let's have a little bit of fun. This is something that I saw many years ago that I've been sharing all over the world. And I'm sure you've seen the FedEx logo. Now, I want you to take a look at it, and I want you to point out to yourself, just, don't point, but point out to yourself, where is the arrow in the FedEx logo? Okay, I'll give you a second now. Where's the arrow in the FedEx logo? And the reason I ask is because most people don't know where the arrow is in the FedEx logo. Some people have seen it, others don't. But in the FedEx logo, if you look between the E and the X, you have, okay, the arrow in the FedEx logo in white. Now, if you've seen that, that's great, but let's go to another example. If you are familiar with the FedEx logo, how many times have you seen it? 10, 20, 50, 100, 500 times? For those of you who didn't see it, the question is, why didn't you see it? And the answer is because you didn't have cells of recognition in your brain or a neural pattern to see it, so you have this blindness, okay, around seeing the arrow until somebody tells you, here's where it's at. Now, if you take a look, okay, at the FedEx logo a little bit more, and you look for the little measuring spoon, okay, in the FedEx logo. Can you see the measuring spoon in the FedEx logo? Most people, even if they've seen the arrow, don't know about where the measuring spoon is. So take a look at the measuring spoon. Can you see it? Okay. If you take a look at the E, okay, the first E, all right, and look at the bottom part of the E, the bottom half of the E, you see the little measuring spoon, like a baker's measuring spoon at the bottom half of the E? Both of those were put in there as part of the FedEx logo. The measuring spoon was there to be able to measure where every package was, and the arrow was to move packages from one location to the other. Now, the reason you may not have seen these before is, number one, your brain wasn't primed to find it, nor did somebody show you how to look for it and achieve it. Well, that is one of the ways that the brain works, is once you give the brain a specific target to look for, it starts to focus on finding that target. There's a part of your brain called the left prefrontal cortex that goes to work to help you find whatever it is that you tell it that you want. Guess what? It will also find what you tell it you don't want. So if you're having thoughts around what you don't want, or what you're fearful of, or what's causing you anxiety, you will actually cognitively prime, instruct your brain to find what you don't want. And that's one of the keys to achieving your success, is learning how to focus on what you do want. So with that said, let me share with you a couple of steps that are needed in order to achieve success. Number one, what you have to start off with to really get your brain to work for you is to give it a precise target, a vision of exactly what you want it to focus on. And it's not important to, it's not just important to create the clarity of what you want. You have to give it some timelines for when you want to achieve it by. So that's step number one, is creating a vision and then looking at that vision every single day to instruct your brain, okay, to instruct your brain where you want it to pay attention. So that's part one. Part two is you have to have goals. So you have your vision, then what is the first goal, the second goal, the third goal that you want to achieve, so that you actually activate the motivational circuits in your brain. When you give your brain a vision and goals to achieve, you actually activate a part of the brain called the nucleus accumbens and the insula, which lights up the motivational circuit of the brain. I'm going to share with you another part of this in just a moment that's really, really critical, so pay close attention. So once you have your vision and you have some goals for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and maybe a year, the other thing that's critical for you to have in order to keep the brain working in your favor is this. Why? Why must you achieve that goal. Not why should you, why could you, why you want to. Why must you achieve that goal? And the reason that the why is so important is because when you set a new goal or a bigger vision than you've ever had before, it's going to light up another part of the brain that's going to be working against you. And I'll explain that in just a moment. But when you have a big reason why you must achieve your goals, whether it's because you want to be an example for your children, whether it's because there are charities that you just have to help, whether it's because you absolutely want to fulfill your God-given abilities, whatever it is that you determine is your big why, that is the reason you will actually overcome any of your own self-doubts, your fears, your anxieties, or when you fall down and do not succeed for a temporary amount of time. So you have to have the vision, the goals, and the why. And here's something else. Why is why not good enough when you have a big vision and a goal? And this is the key right over here. When you have easy goals, okay, and they're goals that are consistent with the goals you've already achieved, in your brain, there's something that is called neural coherence. And neural coherence just means you're in your comfort zone. What you consciously want and your unconscious comfort zones are in alignment. There isn't any turmoil or dissonance, as we call it in the neuroscience field. Once you set a big new goal, it creates something called neural dissonance. And neural dissonance is the gap between the big goal and what you are trained to achieve. And what that does from a strictly brain perspective is it activates the fear center in your brain. And the fear center in your brain is a natural response whenever you set a goal that you either don't have the skills for, you don't know how to achieve, you've tried it before and failed, you may have seen people who've tried that goal and they failed. Whenever there is any information in your brain, in your memory banks in your brain, that don't align with the achievement of that goal, the fear center activates. And when that happens, a couple things that are really critical that we now finally understand take over and you lose your motivation. Number one is this part of your brain. The left prefrontal cortex actually deactivates and really slows down its working ability. And that is what we call as the Einstein brain. That's the part of your brain that can achieve just about any goal and find whatever solutions that you need. It is the thinking, positive, genius part of your brain. But before this gets activated, the right prefrontal cortex, when that fear signal comes in of doubts and anxieties and fear and worries, it increases the right prefrontal cortex, and I call that the Frankenstein brain. And so there's this constant battle, okay, in people's brains that causes chaos in the brain. And when we don't feel right, when we feel fearful, our motivation is what gets squashed, and then we revert back to our comfort zone or safety zone, and we end up doing more of the same. So the first part is you need to learn how to recognize which part of the brain is activated, Frankenstein or Einstein. That I could teach you how to do in less than 5 minutes, but it takes a little bit of practice once you learn how to do it. The other thing that is critical for you to understand about achieving goals and making more money is once you set the goal and once you have the vision, once you have your big why, as you start to take action towards your goals, if you take action for more than a day or 3 or 5 or 7, there's a part of your brain that works almost like a thermostat, okay, or a GPS navigator. And if you're off course And off course just means that you're not doing or achieving or thinking the same way you have been for a month or 6 months or a year or 2 or 3. Anytime you're off course, the error detection mechanism in your brain lights up, and what happens? It gets you to stop what you're doing, and you start to rationalize your way out of all of the behaviors you were taking that will help you achieve bigger goals and dreams with less stress. Now, I'm just sharing with you how the brain works, and it's just in the last 10, 15 years that we're actually able to look inside the human brain and see different parts of the brain lighting up that's allowing us to get smarter with the 3-pound tool that we have between our heads, and we can get better at it. When you set a big goal and you start moving towards that goal, and I've seen it thousands of times with salespeople who make some great successes in a week or 2 or 3 and then lose their momentum, or people that go on a diet and they lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds and then gain it all back. What happens is the fear of the new is fighting against the comfort of the old. Now, I'm talking about in your brain. The fear of the new fights with the comfort zone of the old. And you and I are creatures of habit, creatures of comfort. We want our comfort zones. And anything that takes us out of our comfort zone, whether it's good or bad, lights up the error detection mechanism, and we revert back to all of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors that keep us in our comfort zone. This is why so many people, they get motivated, but they don't integrate that motivation into the non-conscious part of their brain to reset the comfort zone that is programmed in the non-conscious part of the brain. And so when people set big new goals, fear pops up. They procrastinate. They have uncertainty. They lack confidence, which causes doubts and the excuses, to start being rampant in their brains. And what I would like you to understand about how your brain works and how I'm going to help you break free from your comfort zone and move into a new comfort zone that is more aligned with your bigger goals and vision and your dreams is this. You may have seen this type of a car either in a magazine or on TV in the past. Well, what is it? It's a Lamborghini. And we know that a Lamborghini can go about, 240 miles an hour, 250 miles an hour. So the car, the hardware, and the engine is there. But do you know what this little piece of equipment is that's on your screen right now? It's called a governor. Now, a governor limits how fast the car will go based on the setting on the governor. So you can have a car that can go 250 miles an hour. But if the governor is set at, let's say, 100 miles an hour, no matter how hard you press on the pedal, the governor will not allow the car to go faster than 100. You have to reset the governor and open it up to be able to take the car and drive it as fast as possible. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go ahead and drive a car 250 miles an hour, but the metaphor and the analogy of how your brain works is what I want to get across. Your goals and dreams are part of your conscious choice of what you would love to have and your imagination. But if your governor, your beliefs, your habits, your perceptions, and your expectation point is set at your current comfort zone, even though you have the potential to achieve much greater results, which I know you do, you are going to be limited by your settings, your internal, neural, mental, emotional settings that drive your behaviors. Does this make sense to you? I want you to imagine a rocket ship with all of the rocket ship fuel that it has, bolted on into rockets, all right? And it's got, an amazing potential. What you have to do to get that rocket ship to take off into space is to ignite the what? You have to ignite the entire chain system so that you have the spark to take the rocket ship and utilize all of the fuel to take the rocket ship into space. The rocket ship on its own won't get into space. The fuel on its own won't get into space. But you have to ignite, okay, a spark to be able to take that rocket ship into space. And so how do you ignite your spark? How do you ignite your ability to take those goals and dreams that you have and really manifest them, create them, to make them a reality? And so the first thing is you start off with, what are your biggest goals and dreams? Go ahead for just a few seconds. Like, how much income do you want to earn? What kind of lifestyle do you really want to live? How much time would you love to have off to focus on your hobbies, to focus on your friends or family? How much would you invest in getting into a really good or outstanding spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical health? If you had the time to do it, what would you do, okay, with extra time when you have more than enough money? Think about that, because that is what's possible. But you also may have some problems or challenges right now. And for some of you, you may be stuck. You may feel unfulfilled. You may be unhappy with your current results. You may, like I used to, suffer from low self-esteem and low self-worth, and you know if you do. You may lack the confidence and the certainty to know what to do. And that may be causing you to procrastinate and maybe even have fears. And you can have fears of failure, fears of success, fears of being embarrassed, fears of being ashamed, fear of disappointing yourself or other people. And when that is part of what is happening in your mind and in your heart and emotions, those feelings, okay, and those mental circumstances are what is going to drive your behavior. And what I can share with you is, let's shatter those. Let's get rid of those, and let's help you become more confident and more certain than ever before. And if you're willing to invest some time in your growth and your future so that you have the lifestyle that you really are capable of achieving, then what I want you to understand is it's your beliefs and habits and emotions that are deeply rooted from being alive for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years that are underneath the surface, causing all of your perceptions and behaviors. And the longer you've been alive, the deeper neural connections and patterns exist within you. And so in order to be aware of those and release the ones that don't serve you, what I want to do is help you understand that to achieve your goals, not to set them, to achieve your goals, the easiest and fastest ways is to work from your highest order of being down to the lowest. And I look at it as this. We live in a universe that's 13.7 billion years old. So we've been evolving for millions of years as a human species, and our brain has been evolving for many, many, many years. We've been walking on Earth about 150,000 or so years, and our brain has been evolving to be more and more and more powerful. That's why you call it the most powerful 3-pound tool in the universe. Now we're learning how to use it better. And what I can share with you is when you tap into your higher spiritual essence, not the religious side, the spiritual essence that is actually giving you life right now. Okay, 100 trillion cells, 100 billion brain cells, unfathomable amount of processes happening at the unconscious, autonomic system level of your being without you think about it. That is the spiritual intelligence that's within you that gives you life, that permeates all space and time. When you work from that understanding of that's who you are, and you learn that you have 6 core emotions that produce feelings. The emotions are non-conscious that produce conscious feelings. And when you learn how to take your mental abilities of focus, of attitude, of imagination, of reasoning, and you get those aligned with your physical body, moving it in the right order, okay, in the right direction, in the right order, doing the right things. When you have that alignment between spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical, that's when you're in flow. That's when things are easy. That's when things are like, wow, I didn't realize I could achieve success so easily. It's when you're out of alignment that you have chaos. And what I want to help you create is coherence. Coherence is harmony, everything working in synchronicity within you, your emotions, your mindset, and your spiritual being and your physical body towards achieving the goals and dreams that you have. See, I personally believe that you wouldn't have the big goals and dreams that you have for your life and for your family and for the things that you want to do in the world to give your life more purpose and meaning, unless there was also the ability to achieve it. And maybe, just maybe, you attracted me into your life right now to teach you how to do this, just like my mentor taught me. So, with having your big goals and dreams, the other thing that is critical for you to align are your beliefs, your habits, and your emotions. And when you think about it, what are beliefs? Beliefs are nothing more than what we have learned and think or believe is true about ourselves and the world. Now, where did you get your beliefs? Chances are your parents, your teachers, school, your siblings, your friends, television, and your own experiences. So what that means is beliefs aren't the truth. Beliefs may be your truth, but what if you could change your beliefs to align it with your new goals and dreams? A belief from a neuroscience perspective is nothing more than a neural pattern that's been reinforced in the brain. And that helps us create habits that are also neural patterns in the brain. And our beliefs and habits work hand in hand to create our emotions and feelings of things, and is what drives our behavior. So, how does this all work to achieve results? Let me share with you a gentleman that I met several years ago. His name is Arif Balagam, and he's a dentist by trade. And he had a business that was doing about $50,000 a month in business, a dental practice that was doing about $50,000 a month in practice. And he believed that he was stuck, which he was, and he believed that, he wanted to achieve more, but he believed that because he was stuck and because he wasn't good at sales and marketing, he really couldn't grow his dental practice. Well, his beliefs were true, and his beliefs were driving his behavior and his perceptions. As soon as he started to retrain his brain to have a different set of beliefs, he started to learn what he needed to learn to achieve a greater level of success, and he started to make about $200,000 a month, a 4 or 5 time increase in his previous best months in his dental practice. Well, what shifted? What I can share with you, what shifted was not only did he have the goal to achieve it, but he started to align all of his non-conscious brain to create the coherence around spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical, so that he was taking action, the right actions every day that were aligned with his goals and dreams. He learned how to recognize, how to work with his proper brain tools and not fall prey to doubts and fears and anxieties. And in order for you to achieve your biggest goals and dreams and your vision, one of the things you have to do is gain the confidence that you can do it. And I know you can. And you have to increase your self-worth, because your self-worth, what you believe you are worth, okay? Not the belief that you talk about with your friends, because there's 2 types of beliefs. There's the beliefs that you talk to your friends about and you tell people, yeah, I believe I could do this. But I'm talking about the belief deep in your mind that says, but am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Am I worthy enough? You want to develop unshakable beliefs that you are good enough, you are smart enough, you are worthy, and you can learn how to achieve all of your goals and dreams. And when you have that conviction, you have certainty. And in order to have that conviction, one of the things you have to do is master your emotions, because emotions drive behavior. So if you have an emotion of fear, guess what gets activated? That right prefrontal cortex, which is your Frankenstein brain, which doesn't allow you to be motivated and figure out how to achieve your goals. It's focusing you on why you can't. But when you learn how to manage your emotions by recognizing them and using a couple of brain-based technologies and tools, you actually will activate the left prefrontal cortex, your genius part of your brain, and that is what is required for you to get totally aligned with doing what you need to do. And when you do that, you start to develop new beliefs and new habits on how to do that. This is a process. And when that happens, what you do is you start to take your mental thermostat, okay? Remember I talked to you about an error detection mechanism? And the error detection mechanism is like a financial thermostat in your brain. Anytime that the setting, okay, gets moved around, that error detection mechanism sets in and causes you to revert back to all of your behaviors. So what you have to do is create what I talked about earlier, is your conscious goals and your non-conscious brain must be aligned. This is neural coherence. When these two parts of your brain are not aligned, you have chaos and you have fear and anxiety and stress. So putting this all together, when you have your vision and your beliefs and your goals and habits and your why and your emotions aligned, that creates the coherence to make sure that your behavior is consistent with the new goals and dreams that you have. And when you create that alignment, now your brain and your emotions and your body are all in harmony, working together in concert to achieve your goals and dreams. And can you imagine what that would feel like when you achieve success with less stress, with very, very little resistance? But even if you have resistance, you learn how to recognize the resistance and navigate through it. Here's something I want you to take a look at. You remember back in the old day, maybe when I was a kid, 55 years ago or so, we had a typewriter. Today we have computers. Earlier I talked about, those old brick cell phones. When I started selling real estate when I was 19, I had this big cell phone that was, about 3 pounds. Today we have, smart little phones that could do more than we'll ever need in our lifetime. What's possible for you when you get that alignment is for you to really achieve the goals and dreams instead of just setting goals. And I want to share a story with you about Ruben Salazar, one of my favorite people that I've met in many, many years. Ruben is the type of guy that's, just happy, always smiling, always willing to do things for other people. And I met him just a little while ago, a few years ago, and he was in a bit of a funk. And Ruben had achieved some success in his life. And then due to some unforeseen circumstances, he was almost bankrupt. Now, Ruben is a welder. He welds for a living, and he has a welding shop now. And a few years ago, he was just about bankrupt. And he went from having his business to having some real estate, to having some free time, to almost being bankrupt. And he knew that one of the things that was happening to him was that he was in a really negative state of mind on an ongoing basis. So much so that his wife, Anita, was like, Ruben, you gotta change. His employees weren't enjoying him. He wasn't investing time with his children or grandchildren. And he was really stressed out, not knowing if he'd ever be able to achieve success again. Well, what did Ruben do? He found me at an event that I was doing with my dear friend Brian Tracy. I was speaking at his event, and he knew that by retraining his brain, he would get the mental, emotional focus back that he needed, and we would help him change his beliefs and habits so that he would be more productive. Well, guess what? I know that in the last 12 months, Ruben earned over $1 million. I also know he's now investing again in Belize. I also know he's having a fun time riding his motorcycle. I also know that he's now investing time with his wife and grandkids. I know this because I hear from thousands and thousands of my clients and students who have retrained their brain and achieved more success in 1 to 3 years than they had achieved, in 10, 20, 30 years. And so my question for you is, where do you want to be in the next 1 to 3 years? Do you want to achieve good results, or do you want to achieve amazing exponential results? Because I know that that is what is possible for you. But it's not possible if you answer this question, this way. It's not possible if you answer this question, are you interested or committed, with the following words: I am interested. When you're interested, you're going to do what's convenient. You're going to do what is always the same path for you, possibly. Stories, excuses, reasons why you can't. Highly successful people make a commitment and follow through to completion. And many of us need help. And that's why, if you are committed to achieving the goals and dreams that you've been thinking about throughout this little training session that I've done, then let me introduce you to a prescription strength program that will allow me to train your brain and help you achieve the financial goals and dreams and lifestyle that you want. I want to introduce you to the complete Winning the Game of Money success coaching and brain retraining system that really will help you take your results to a whole other level and help you achieve your goals and dreams. And it's based on 3 parts that you will need to really pay attention and focus to. Part number 1 is helping you train your brain to develop more confidence, more focus, more certainty, and more clarity than ever before. And with my brain retraining program that utilizes the most evidence-based methodologies and brain training technologies, I'll help you change your money story from the inside out so that you don't only find more financial opportunities, but you develop the beliefs and habits that'll help you achieve any financial goal that you want, thereby giving you more confidence and certainty in your self-image and self-worth. And what I can share with you is I put together this brain training program based on years of neuroscience and neuropsychology research, and all you have to do once you become part of this program is download the brain retraining audios either onto your cell phone or iPad, or just access it on your computer. And every day for about 30 minutes you put on your headphones and you listen to the audio track for that week. And I will help you, using the latest evidence-based methodologies, change the unconscious patterns in your brain so that they match your goals and dreams. And how do we do this? Well, we know that there are behavior modification techniques that are used by scientists and psychologists all over the world. We know that through guided hypnotherapy, you can repattern and rescript and reshape your unconscious mind. We know that using guided visualizations and guided meditations, you're accessing the unconscious part of your mind where your beliefs and habits and self-image and self-esteem reside. And when you do this every day for 20 or 30 minutes for the next 90 days, you'll be priming your brain with thousands upon thousands of beliefs and habits and visualization sessions to change and transform your self-image and your self-worth and what you're capable of achieving from the inside out. That way, you really start to align your conscious and your unconscious goals. So that's part 1 of the program, and it's so easy to do. We have people who are in their teens that do it, and people who are in their 80s that are retraining their brain using this revolutionary process and technology. The second part of retraining your brain and coaching you to achieve higher levels of success is really upgrading your knowledge and your skills. And once you have more confidence, more certainty, and the beliefs that you can achieve all your goals and dreams, you've got to know what to do. So I've developed a library that you're able to watch, listen, and apply every single week, a different program to help you upgrade your knowledge and skills on all of the key elements to being able to achieve your goals and dreams, earn more money, and live the lifestyle of your dreams. And that is part of the $1 Million Success Training Library. And you unlock a new level every single week over the next 90 days, 180 days, year-long time that you're going to be with me. And the value of just the training that I provide, which is over 50 hours of training, is $5,000. The third part of the program is this, and this is something that I love to do and our members love to do. We have a VIP coaching community online, and I get to work with tens of thousands of people in this community to answer their questions, to help them get through their program every single day. I'm in the community helping our members through our VIP coaching and support. And what this looks like is this. Once you sign up for this program, I'm going to give you access not only to the brain training and the knowledge and skills videos, but I'm going to give you access to me and one of the leading world-renowned experts in neuroscience, Mark Waldman. And this way, not only will you learn from me, just like Alan Brown taught me, I want to teach you through the audios, through the videos, but also in a day-to-day fashion in our communities, where you can learn from, there's about 15,000 people in the program right now that are sharing and helping each other. And there are people that are really making some amazing strides in doubling or tripling their income. And it's so much more than that, because they're learning how to overcome their fears, how to overcome any of the things that are holding them back. And that's where we will meet every single day. It's open 24/7, and it is so active with answers and tools and resources. So when you combine the 12-level brain retraining system with the $1 Million Video Success Library and 6 months of coaching with me, the total investment for that is $8,494, and that's compromising the entire package. Now, what I would love you to do, all right, is really make a decision to sign up right now for the Win the Game of Money 12-level brain retraining system, get the Success Library and 6 months of coaching with me, and instead of paying $8,494, your investment for your success to work with me for the next 6 months is just $995. So take action right now and let me help you, just like Alan Brown, my mentor, helped me. Think about this. What do you do with your money right now? You probably pay for your car, maybe shoes, maybe some jewelry, maybe for restaurants and the fun things that you want to do. Well, the things that are really important, okay, when you understand what rich people do, is they actually will take some of the money they have and they'll reinvest it back in themselves, in becoming sharper, in becoming smart, so they can grow their net worth and their self-worth. And if you remember this, money always replenishes itself. If you have a job, then you're getting paid every week or every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks. So money will replenish itself. And when you invest in yourself, you'll get a return on that investment that is exponential versus the money itself. So how much is our training worth? Well, based on a survey we did with our clients, 88% of our clients said that the training is priceless, and 12% gave it a rating of worth millions of dollars. And so I'm asking you to make an investment in yourself so that you can have an exponential growth. To sweeten the pie for you and to really help make this a no-brainer for you, one of the programs that I've taught for many years is called How to Get More Done in Less Time. And it is the most advanced program on being able to help you become 2 to 3 times more productive than you are right now. I'll teach you in this program, as a bonus that I'm going to give you for taking action today, I'm going to teach you how to focus all of your attention on the highest impact and highest income producing activities so that you become 2, 3, 4, 5 times more productive. When you sign up, I will give you this as a bonus right now. The second bonus I'm going to give you, I'll tell you in just a moment, but if you just got an opportunity to be more productive every day and every week, what would it be worth to you? My clients have shared with me that just that program alone is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars to them. And the program is so much more than that, because as you learn to retrain your brain to have, stronger beliefs about your abilities, more confidence, more certainty, what it does in the health arena, in the self-esteem, in your relationships, and in the pride that you feel, within your own life is so amazing that our clients tell us that the benefits they receive from this program are way more than just the money. So to keep you really focused on how we're going to help you, I'm going to give you another bonus, and that is something called the In-Depth Personality Strengths and Success Profile Assessment. And there's an old saying that Seneca said, and he said, "Know thyself." And when you really understand your strengths, your weaknesses, your personality profile, are you a driver? Are you more analytical? Are you more social? When you understand who you are, then it's easier for you to focus on building your strengths and managing your weaknesses. So I'm going to give you a program worth $500 when you enroll in the program today. And as a third bonus, I'm going to take this over the top so that you really realize that this is going to help you. I'm going to help you with the 5 Pillars of Financial Success video training program. And the first module is about repairing and recovering any of your finances that may be hurting right now. Then we're going to teach you how to earn more money if you're an employee, or how to earn more money if you're a business owner. I'll teach you how to manage your money better so that you have more than enough money at the end of every month instead of not enough and maybe going on credit, to get extra money. I'll teach you the thinking behind investing so that you are a smart investor, whether it's the real estate market, the stock market, or a business, or any other investment that you want to make. There's a way of thinking about it that I have learned through investing in the stock market, millions of dollars, real estate, millions of dollars, businesses, millions of dollars. I'll share with you my best thinking about investing. And then there's the protection side of it. How do you protect your assets so that once you accumulate wealth, you actually know the structures for protection? This program alone is taught and sold for $997. I'm going to give that to you. And to sweeten the pie even more and make this a no-brainer for you, do you remember earlier I shared with you how Alan Brown became my mentor? Well, not only am I going to give you the first 6 months in my VIP coaching community with me and Mark Waldman, but when you act right now, I will give you an additional 6 months so that you and I can work together and follow your progress for a whole year. I want you to be mega successful, whatever that means to you. And I want to share, I want you to share with me and the world how you got into the brain retraining program, got the coaching, upgrade your knowledge and skills, and achieve the level of success that I know is within you. I want you to tell people that you were standing on the edge of your potential, you took action, and you started to achieve your goals and dreams. Now, if you can imagine that with me, this entire complete program, the full value of it is $12,185. And as I mentioned, I'm not asking you to invest in that. I'm asking you to invest in yourself so you have exponential returns. Take a look at what Christy Charlton says. All right, she's made $100,000 in the last 6 months. That is just amazing to me, because before she was having a bit of a hard time. If you take a look, all right, at our other clients that are achieving amazing success, like Vicky Crosby, she was earning about $800 a week in profit before this program, and she's on track to earn over $1.8 million by the end of this year. I can share with you hundreds and hundreds more testimonials and real case studies from people who took a leap of faith and said to themselves that they're ready to really take control of their lives, to train their brain, to get the coaching that they need, to get to be in the environment of successful people working to help each other. And the system and the process works because it breaks your mental patterns of your current beliefs and habits and comfort zones. And that is really, really important. And so the total value of this package is over $12,000. If you want to get started right now and take advantage of a payment plan, just make a decision to invest $395 now and make 3 more payments of $395, which is a 92% discount. Or if you want to save an additional $585, make one single payment of $995 right now, and I'll throw in a super amazing bonus. I recently had an event called Money Squared, the Art and Science of Financial Success, and it was 3 days of live training on how to get your mindset right, your skill set right, and how to really earn more money than you've ever earned before. And people pay between $2,500 and $5,000 to be at that event. And I had amazing guests there. That value is $2,500, and I'm going to actually throw that in for you if you pay in full right now. So you're going to get the Winning the Game of Money 12-level brain retraining system, which is valued at $1,495 or $1,497. You're going to receive the $1 Million Success Training Library, where you'll be learning the best and most advanced ways to earn, manage, invest, and protect your wealth. You'll learn how to manage your emotions. It's just absolutely phenomenal. You're going to get the 12 months VIP coaching in my community worth over $4,000. Several of the bonuses that I'm going to give you are how to get more done in less time, which will help you become 2 to 3 times more productive. I guarantee that. I'm going to give you the in-depth personality profile worth $500, the 5 pillars of financial success, so that you really know what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and how to really think about your financial success now and in the future. And when you pay in full right now, I'll give you the Money Squared 3 days of live video training that you'll be able to go through in any order that you want with your family, with your friends, with your business colleagues. The total package is worth over $14,000. You get a year coaching with me. Normally, my fee is $5,000 an hour, $35,000 for a keynote. And so you're going to get access to me for a whole year, to Mark Waldman, one of the top neuroscientists in the world, and we'll guide you every step of the way between your brain retraining, between upgrading your knowledge and skills so you know what to do, and the coaching community that I'm in every single day. You're going to be surrounded by like-minded people who are some ahead of you, some are going to be joining right now, and will help you along the way. So make an investment in yourself. You're not investing in a program, you're investing in yourself so that you achieve the financial results and the lifestyle that you want. Your investment's just $995. So click on the button right now, get started, take action, which is what all winners do. I see it as 2 choices. You can start building that pile of cash so that you have emotional freedom, choice freedom, and financial freedom, or you can say, I can't do it right now. I don't want to do it right now. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. You can use your excuses or stories. Remember earlier I shared with you the difference between highly successful people and successful people? It was one of the first lessons my mentor shared with me. Are you interested or are you committed? If you're interested, you'll come up with excuses. And if you're committed, you'll do whatever it takes. And to make this a no-brainer for you, I'm going to take all the risk. Buy the program right now. Get involved in my coaching. Get involved in the training program. And you have 30 days to be in our community, to test everything out. If it's not everything that I've shared with you, just ask for a refund. I'll give you 30 full days to try it out. Why am I doing this? Because I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. I'm willing to invest in you in advance. So click on the button, get started, and let's help you achieve the financial results and the lifestyle that you've always dreamed of. All right? So click on that button and let me share this with you. You now have every reason in the world to take action, and I've sweetened the deal for you, okay, with over $10,000 in bonuses. And I want to take off, if I can, my teaching hat for just a moment and just talk to you, person to person, human to human. I don't have a rare gene that allows me to achieve and have everything that I want in my life. All right, I wasn't given any special advantages, or I certainly wasn't raised with a silver spoon in my mouth, my father working as a cab driver, my mother working at a local department store. As you know from my story earlier, I struggled a lot through my life and I made so many mistakes. I've wasted so much time. I've lost millions of dollars. I've been, on the bottom end of life, and because of the mentoring and coaching and retraining my brain and spending over $500,000 to figure out what the best ways are to retrain my brain and to help hundreds of thousands of people in the world to do the same, I discovered some success principles and methodologies that make it so much easier. And I know that you can try to figure it all out alone like I did. I really want to just save you time and money. And I'm essentially giving you the scientific shortcut to train your brain so you can accomplish all of your financial goals and dreams. And this is the journey that I want to be on with you. And I want to take off years from your learning curve so you can start to achieve the goals and the dreams and the results that you want to achieve instead of just having goals. And remember what we talked about earlier. You're going to save so much time, and time is more valuable than money. You want to be able to have time to be healthy, time to enjoy the relationships, time to be with your loved ones, time to see the world, time to focus on the charities and the things that give your life the most purpose and meaning. And when you learn how to earn more money, that shortens the amount of time before you actually get to do all the really important things. So thank you for joining me, and now is the time for you to take action. All you need to do is click on the button below this video, get into the program. You and I will be together for the next year, and I will mentor you. You will upgrade your knowledge, skills, your beliefs, your habits, your perceptions, and you'll be in an environment of absolutely amazing people. There's over 15,000 people in my community right now from around the world that are helping each other. So click on the button. I've given you a full 30-day money-back guarantee, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side and in our community as you retrain your brain. Trust me, you are going to achieve the most amazing results in the world. Have an awesome day and take care of yourself. Click on the button and let's get started.